Oscar De La Hoya has sent shots at Gennady Golovkin after he comes through his tune-up fight with a 4th round stoppage of Steve Rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. Alright, look. Oscar De La Hoya went on Twitter and started sending for Gennady Golovkin as soon as he knocked out Steve Rolls. De La Hoya has basically dismissed Golovkin's chances of getting the Triple G versus Canelo trilogy fight by saying that Golovkin needs to go and do more. He's basically went online and said that Golovkin works for Canelo. He said, "Congratulations on your win over Steve Rolls. Go and get a belt. Hashtag Canelo is your boss." Now, I know for a fact that Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, is going to be sort of seething at the tongue reading a tweet like this. But, he's only got himself to blame. Golovkin had it all. He had the opportunity to go for undisputed. He had the opportunity to fight his IBF mandatory. Golovkin has done everything that a fucking idiot would do. He had the chance to defend his IBF mandatory and keep 3 belts, but he decided to take a fight with Vanis Manarosyan, got stripped of the IBF. He could have gone and finished off Billy Joe Saunders and went into immortality by becoming a 4-belt undisputed middleweight champion, the first of his kind. And what did he do? He ran up and down after Canelo. Multiple times trying to get that fight, trying to cash out, going for the money fight. All of a sudden, Golovkin's lost his belts. He's got a loss on his record, and his value has sort of gone down a little bit. Yes, he might have signed a very lucrative deal with DAZN, but at the same time, that doesn't really mean anything. Golovkin is the outsider looking in. Canelo has 3 belts, and Demetrius Andrade has the other one. The good thing is, Oscar De La Hoya is not completely freezing out Golovkin. And I think what he means by saying go and get a belt is he wants to build this fight back up a little bit. Now, when you think of Canelo versus Golovkin or Golovkin versus Canelo, however you want to sort of name it, Golovkin, in my opinion, got robbed in the first fight. In my opinion, he won that fight by a landslide by about 2 or 3 rounds. And in the second fight, I thought that maybe he either edged it or it was a draw. The referees and the judges had it as a draw in the first fight and Canelo in the second. Golovkin, after the first fight, said that Canelo wasn't doing that trademark Mexican-style fighting, which to me is absolutely bullshit. I don't know how an Eastern European man can go to a Mexican and try and talk to him about Mexican fighting. It doesn't make any sense. But Golovkin, he doesn't hold any chips right now. So what De La Hoya has said to him is go and fight Andrade, and if you can beat Andrade, then we can look at doing Canelo versus Golovkin for the 3rd time. My thing is, I don't really see the point in him doing that fight. Yes, I understand there's a lot of money in a Canelo versus Golovkin fight for a trilogy, but what we need to understand is this time the fight's not on pay-per-view. Golovkin, from what I believe, signed a $200 million, I think it was a 6-fight or 8-fight deal with DAZN, and Canelo signed a $365 million 11-fight deal. As far as I'm aware, these guys' purses are cemented. Now, I don't know if DAZN are going to pay them a bit more for big fights, or if there's going to be winning bonuses, or if that's just the money they're going to earn. But I guess at the same time, Canelo versus Golovkin, this is a fight that's going to be on pay-per-view in many other countries, probably the UK, probably the likes of Australia, New Zealand. So yeah, I guess there's still money to be earned in other avenues, not just the DAZN money. So that's probably what De La Hoya is looking at. But telling Golovkin that Canelo's his boss, well, Canelo has got him by the bullbacks. Canelo has always had him by the bullbacks. Golovkin was a 3-belt world champion, and from what I believe, in the first fight, the split was something crazy, like 65-35 in Canelo's favor. Canelo's challenging Golovkin for his titles, and it was billed as Canelo versus Golovkin. Golovkin got the shorter slice of the pie. The second fight after Canelo popped dirty for clenbuterol, I believe the split was 55-45, once again in Canelo's favor. So we're talking about Canelo getting the bigger slice of the pie and both times while challenging for the belts. Yes, we have seen this before. The likes of Floyd Mayweather challenging people and still taking A-side money. But, Golovkin, he really didn't need that fight. What he needed to do is he should have fought Billy Joe Saunders, but he didn't. So he can go and get fucked for all I care. So what is he going to do now? He's going to go into this Demetrius Andrade fight. And that's not a fight he's guaranteed to win. I mean, he would definitely be the favourite for this fight. But is he going to win it? I don't know. Time will tell and we'll find out. But if he can beat Demetrius Andrade and Canelo can hold on to all of his belts, then yes, we're going to see the first ever 4-belt undisputed middleweight champion. And that's a good thing because, I want to see undisputed in all of the weight categories. So far, I've seen it at junior welterweight with Terence Crawford. We've seen it at cruiserweight with Alexander Usyk. And we also saw Clarissa Shields unify all of the belts in whatever division she fights in. Sorry guys, I really don't watch women's boxing like that. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but I just don't know and I really don't care. But yeah, do I want to see Canelo versus Golovkin for a third time? Not really. I'll be honest with you, I think it's time for Golovkin to go up to 168. Golovkin has taken his entire career fighting at middleweight, and after all those fights, he never became an undisputed champion. He had 3 of the 4 belts. He had 2 controversial fights with Canelo Alvarez. He also fought a random guy called Vanis Manaroshan, allowing himself to get stripped. But I guess Golovkin's looking at this being the twilight of his career. He's now 37 years old, and he's probably thinking to himself he might have a couple of big fights left in him. The fact is, Golovkin is still a huge draw. So even if he does beat Andrade and then loses to Canelo for the second time, he could still go up to super middleweight, and he'll still be the main attraction and the bigger draw. Even if he loses to Canelo for a second time, Billy Joe Saunders will snap his hand off to get a fight. The likes of Caleb Plant will snap his hand off. The likes of all of the champions at 168, because Golovkin will be a money man in comparison to all of them. Chris Eubank. The thing is, none of those guys in the super middleweight division are generating any money. So the fact is, if Golovkin's going to go up there and start challenging these guys, it's going to do wonders for that super middleweight division. So yeah, go and get your Canelo fight out the way. Do I think he can beat Canelo? Well, in my opinion, he's already beaten Canelo. But do I think he can get the decision? That's a complete opposite. The answer is no. So I think, go for the Andrade fight, get a belt back, go and fight Canelo one more time for big money, and then move up to super middleweight. Or just retire. There's not much left for him. Golovkin will always be known as one of the greats at middleweight division. But realistically, he's not. And the thing is, Golovkin is nothing more than just a liar and a cheat. I'll tell you why. Golovkin has one of the most overrated CVs I've ever seen in my life. When Kell Brook went up 2 weight divisions, Golovkin and Abel Sanchez said this is the hardest fight we've ever had. Golovkin also ducked certain people like Jamel Charlo, and certain other fighters in the game. Abel Sanchez stating that black fighters don't sell. But yet, every time there's a black fighter that seems to be a bit of a pushover, Golovkin and his team have never had qualms of fighting these guys. What he means to say is he doesn't want to take the risk in fighting the killers of the black fight fan division. But, if he's got a knockover fight, he'll take it within a heartbeat. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Is Canelo Golovkin's boss? Should Golovkin go after the 3rd fight? Should he move up to super middleweight, or should he retire? Hit like, hit subscribe, share this video. And that's the end of the show, because Rem Star says so.